You got me.
Still the cowboy, Mr. McLean, Americans all alike.
Hello and welcome to the third entry of my film journal, where I record my experience watching your favorite movie. I'm Frankie, and today I'll be having an explosively jolly time with Die Hard. If you were alive in the last decades of the 20th century, especially in Western countries, it is unlikely that you have never seen or heard of the movie Die Hard. The 1988 action movie initially premiered to mixed reviews due to the graphic violence depicted, but ended up making over $140 million worldwide compared to its estimated budget of $28 million. For those of you bad in math, that's what show business calls a lot of freaking money. Also, my dog is snoring next to me, and I'm not gonna do anything about it, so if you hear it in the background, then say sweet dreams, dog. You are living the life. Thank you. Growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, I distinctly remember Die Hard being a part of a number of movies that my local TV channels rotated yearly during my Christmas holidays. Though whether or not a 10-year-old should have been watching this movie is another question, and I won't be going into it today. I just know that the 90s and 2000s were a different time. And so, if like me, you've had the pleasure and horror of being around a bunch of film nerds with opinions, the age-old question arises: is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Before I can go into that though, let's see how this guy, who definitely has a name and is a film historian that I found online, let's see how he defines a Christmas movie. Let's see how he defines a Christmas movie. Why can't I say movie? Let's see how he defines a Christmas movie. Fuck it.
Well, the way I define it is any movie of any genre in which the Christmas season plays a meaningful role in the story. So some aspect, some emotional truth of the season has to meaningfully inform the story for the audience. So the season means different things. It means joy and family togetherness and finding love and compassion and a positive transformation. It can also mean loneliness, cynicism, maybe a disgust with the commercialism of the season. So there's a very wide spectrum of emotion that we tie to the Christmas season, which allows for a great variety of movies to become what I would call Christmas movies.
So, does Christmas play a meaningful role in Die Hard? Let's find out. Hello. It is just after 9 a.m. I am here with my porridge that has jam that my aunt made and my coffee. And we're gonna watch Die Hard. Die Hard begins with the introduction to John McClane, a police officer from New York City, as he has just arrived in Los Angeles to visit his estranged wife and children for Christmas. His wife, Holly, is working for the Nakatomi Corporation, a business that's just made record profits and for some reason is hosting its company Christmas party on Christmas Eve. Why the fuck are you having a company Christmas party on Christmas Eve? Let them go home. Sorry, worker number whatever. You can't go home to spend time with your family during the holidays because money never sleeps. Holly calls home and we find out that their kids are at home with their nanny. At the airport, John, who's showing signs that he's from New York because of how disgruntled he is with California, he meets Argyle, a newbie limo driver who's been sent to pick him up. John, a man of the people, sits in front of the limo with Argyle, and we find out that John and Holly's marriage is on the rocks because her career picked up and he didn't want to leave New York. Argyle drops John off and says he'll wait for him in the parking garage in case John and his wife have a falling out. These guys are such good friends already. This isn't like New York. Your limo driver will just wait after you for whatever amount of time. As he's entering the building, we see how high-tech this building truly is. That is for 1988, I guess. It's a touch screen. I mean, look at this technology. John arrives at the Christmas party and is from New York.
Jesus, fucking California.
He meets Joe Takagi, the company CEO, who guides him to Holly's office. There he meets Ellis, who's he's going skiing, if you know what I mean, and he's just generally a pain to be around. Holly shows up and they head to the private bathroom so John can clean up after his trip. They discuss John's sleeping arrangements, and the marital tension quickly escalates because John's arranged to stay with an old retired colleague, and Holly has been using her maiden name at work. The drama, the tension. Their argument is interrupted when Holly has to go give a speech, and John is left alone in the bathroom. And this is when everything starts to go south. Some mysterious cars and trucks arrive, and the security guard at the front desk is shot and killed. A bunch of guys emerge from trucks, and this guy, who's very smart, we can tell that from his sweater and glasses, takes over the building security system and locks everything down. We don't know who they are or what they want, but they have guns and explosives and a good understanding of the building. Meanwhile, John's still hanging out in this bathroom, and he calls Argyle, who's having his own little private party in the limo downstairs. The evil guys, who are led by Alan Rickman, and yes, I will only be referring to this character as Alan Rickman.
This is Alan Rickman.
The evil guys, they seem to be German because they're, well, speaking German. They cut the connection and they start shooting up the Christmas party.
This is exactly why you don't host a fucking corporate Christmas party on Christmas Eve.
A barefoot John jumps into action and manages to hide on a different floor before the German dudes see him. What the hell do these guys want, though?
Due to the Nakatomi Corporation's legacy of greed around the globe, they are about to be taught a lesson in the real use of power.
That sure clears up that question.
Okay, so corporation was greedy. They're gonna show power.
They take Takagi in order to get a computer code from him, which will unlock $640 million in negotiable bearer bonds that are locked up in a vault in the building.
What kind of terrorists are you? Who said we were terrorists?
I kind of do appreciate that the terrorists in this movie are Europeans, though. It's just stealing just feels on brand for these characters, so great job. All this time, John's just been sneaking around, learning the building's layout, and trying to figure out what's going on. He finds Rickman negotiating with Takagi and sees Rickman shoot him in the face. Smart guy should be able to hack most of the code, so apparently we don't need this guy anyhow. The problem is that there are 7 locks, and the last one can't be unlocked locally. But, you know, it's still the start of the movie though, so we'll come back to that later. McClane thinks he'll be clever, and he turns on a fire alarm on one of the empty floors. The evil dudes act as if they are the building security and let emergency services know that it was a false alarm. So not only did John's plan not work, it also let the evil guys know about his location, and they send this blonde dude with a machine gun after him. McClane, though, he's no ordinary police officer.
There are rules for policemen. Yeah. That's what my captain keeps telling me.
He's a true-blooded American cop, and there's no amount of violence that might make him question if maybe his actions might be morally questionable. The blonde guy dies while they tumble down a flight of stairs during their fight, and McClane uses his body to send a message to the other evil guys, which is it's a totally normal and a totally sane thing to do.
John's a little cuckoo.
So now the evil dudes know that he's somewhere in the building, and they are angry that one of theirs was killed. Ideal. McClane heads up to the roof of the building and tries to use a walkie-talkie to let law enforcement know about what's going on. The police don't take his message seriously and only send one single police officer, Sergeant Powell, to check out the scene.
There's just like machine gun fire that is so loud you have to take your headphone out, but we're just gonna send one guy to check it out.
Meanwhile, McClane's having a shootout with our German mates on the roof of Nakatomi Tower. What a way to spend Christmas Eve. He yet again manages to escape, this time using the building's elevator ducts and ventilation system, which is the most American movie thing ever. In the 3 decades that I have been on this planet, I have yet to be in a ventilation system. Am I missing out? Okay, never mind. Powell arrives to the scene, and initially he doesn't really see anything suspicious happening. McClane, though, he's an eternal problem solver. He shoots 2 of the bad guys, one of them in his and he throws their bodies through the window onto Powell's cop car and starts shooting his machine gun at him as well, which is a totally normal and a totally sane thing to do under the circumstances. This is what you should do to solve a problem. Throw a body out the window and start shooting more.
Welcome to the party, pal!
To protect and serve.
This causes Powell to lose control of his car and completely total it. Argyle is still chilling though.
Hey, scratch what I said before. Things actually are pretty wrong here.
This finally prompts police assistance, and the building is surrounded by cop cars as well as the media. McClane contacts Alan Rickman via walkie-talkie to intimidate him and to show him, I have all this knowledge on you. You don't know who I am. Blah, blah, blah. Rickman calls out his Rambo-style problem solving and calls him Mr. Cowboy. And this prompts John to deliver one of the movie's most famous quotes.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Ah, yeah. He said the thing. He said that thing.
Mr. Smart Dude, remember him? He's still he's still hacking into the vault by drilling into it, and the evil dudes need to buy a little more time for him to finish the job. Powell and McClane get in touch via walkie-talkie, and McClane gives him the rundown of what he knows. These guys, they strike up a little bit of a bromance, and Powell asks McClane to hide out and to let the LAPD do their job. The SWAT team shows up, and their boss man asks Powell what's going on, and Powell's like, my boy's on the inside. I trust him.
It's just a vibe. He has a cop vibe.
And boss man's basically like, what the fuck, bro? So essentially, no cops trust any cops to do their job, and this is a major theme in this entire movie. Meanwhile, Holly asks Rickman to let the hostages go to the bathroom, because obviously I would definitely need to pee in this situation. And she also asks for them to get a sofa for one of the pregnant employees. And our boy Argyle, he finally realizes that something's happening when the situation ends up on the news. So Bossman tries to send the SWAT team in, but this fails because the evil dudes, they've been expecting this and they have a whole plan in place. And they even have time for a little snacky snack.
Oh my god, look, Mars is this like beige. What's going on?
The evil dudes open fire on the police lights as well as the SWAT team itself, and they blow up an armored vehicle belonging to the LAPD, which
holy shit. There's too many different guns. We're gonna torpedo this. Like, where's all... No. No. What is going on? There's... Okay. Okay.
Why does the police department need a tank? Exactly. How come these German dudes have so many explosives? Questions that have unfortunately remained unanswered to this day. In response to all this, McClane drops a bomb down an elevator shaft, which is a totally normal and sane thing to do in this situation if you're in a high-rise... Yeah. And he blows up one of the bottom floors.
I feel like your eardrums must have already popped before the flames got there, right? How are you looking down for so long when you throw a bomb down there? You throw the bomb and you run. This really escalated so quickly. Remember when the cop first arrived and he was like, It's cool here. It's fine.
This makes Boss Man mad, and his reaction to McClane upsets McClane.
Hey, Roy, how you feeling?
Pretty fucking unappreciated, Al.
Hey, look, I love you. So do a lot of the other guys. So you hang in there, man. You hear me?
Hey, I know we just met, and you just almost blew me up and killed me before when you dropped that dead body on my car. But I love you.
Now, Ellis, remember this guy?
I was just making a call.
He thinks that he can solve this whole situation by using his amazing charisma and business negotiation skills.
To say to myself, these guys are professional, they're motivated, they're happening, i.e., they want something.
Bada bing, bada boom, let's talk business.
He approaches the evil guys and promises to get McClane to give them back the detonators, which John got off of one of the guys he shot earlier. Powell and McClane are getting to know each other over the very public walkie-talkie frequency.
Are they so romantic?
And Rickman interrupts them and hands the line to Ellis. He messes everything up, though, and gets shot by Rickman.
No one liked Ellis anyway. It's fine. It's fine.
This upsets Bossman, who was also listening on the line, and he gets into an argument with Powell, who is still sticking up for McClane. This is where I got really tired of describing the plot. Why is everyone reacting the way they're reacting? Everyone's just doing stuff and getting angry. Why are these guys so in love with each other? I think I'll just take a few moments sitting on my couch, questioning my life's decisions. Hello. What do you think of Die Hard? Do you ever think of Die Hard? Rickman contacts Bossman and asks revolutionary people in Ireland, Canada, and Sri Lanka to be released from prison. This is just a wild goose chase, though, and it's just a ruse to buy some time for a smart guy to get into the vault. Basically, no one really knows what's going on, and Powell's definitely done with Bossman's bullshit. But don't worry, the FBI is here. I'm sure this will end well. Rickman comes across a barefoot McClane and acts like an escaped hostage to gain his trust. They bond over some cigs, and McClane even gives him a gun, but haha, you can't fool McClane. Rickman, he set you up. There's no bullets in that gun. The other German dudes show up and they start shooting up the whole place, but not a single bullet reaches John, and he is able to escape. But he leaves the detonators behind, which is what the evil guys were after in the first place. So McClane's alive, but he's messed up because he had to run over broken glass with his bare-ass feet.
Oh no. Oh no.
He and Powell bond as he's pulling glass from his feet, and we find out that Powell's actually been on desk duty because he shot and killed a 13-year-old. What a mistake to bond over. Also, if you're on desk duty, then why were you sent here? Why is anything happening? We don't know. Powell tells McClane that the feds have arrived, and the evil dudes also realize this by checking the security cams, and we find out that this is exactly what they actually wanted to happen, because the feds will cut the power to the building, and this will open the vault that they have been trying to break into. Remember the seventh seal? That's what the feds will break.
They got the universal terrorist playbook and they're running it step by step.
So great. Now the evil dudes have access to exactly what they wanted from Santa on this fine Christmas day. They notify Rickman that there will be a helicopter for them on the roof. And Rickman's like, great, I'll see you in a bit. Psych. We won't be escaping through the roof at all, suckers. McClane has an epiphany that he should have supported his wife, and he asks Powell to tell her that she is the best thing that's ever happened to him. And Powell's like, no, you tell her yourself, 'cause you're gonna get out alive, bro.
Really puts things into perspective when you spend your Christmas Eve shooting up some Euro trash.
John realizes that something is sus, because why the fuck was Rickman on the roof? and he finds out that the top of the building is rigged with explosives by being able to do a pull-up, which honestly good for him. If this was me, you all would be kaput. We would not find out anything.
See, it's fine to have some things in the shadow in action movies, but you can kind of play around with the lighting, not just not do any lighting at all and fix the color. And oh, that's a big bomb. I got distracted. But at least we can see the bomb, you know?
Rickman realizes that Holly and John are married from the news broadcasting of an interview with their daughter, and he decides to use this information to his advantage by kidnapping Holly.
Boobies. Boobies.
Meanwhile,
your blonde friend is taking care of McLean right now. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. This man needs a hospital or another dirty tank top to wrap around his shoulder.
of course, they fight it out. John gets shot in the shoulder, but the resourceful killer, murderer, police officer that he is, he gets rid of him.
I don't like this, Sarge.
No, me neither.
McLean tries to get all the hostages off the roof to safety by shooting his machine gun, but this prompts the FBI to shoot back at him.
Oh, John, what the fuck are you doing?
He uses the fire hose to dangle down the building and break into one of the lower floors through the window.
Okay, this is really awful, but like, that shot was great.
Just as he jumps, the evil dudes blow up the top of the building because they need a distraction to flee the scene.
It feels like all of this could have been handled a little better.
At least the fire extinguishers work, I guess.
Therapy. Everyone needs therapy.
Except Argyle. He's just laying low like the smartest person around and still just chilling in the garage. He sees the evil dudes and realizes that they're trying to get out of there, and he drives his limo into their escape van and knocks out the smart dude driving it.
See, you don't just go shooting. You just wait, and then you ram your limo into them. That's how you do it.
John only has 2 bullets left, so he needs to think of something to do in order to save Holly from Rickman. The answer to his prayers? Taping his gun to his back. He shoots the last of the evil dudes, and Rickman falls to a slow motion death.
Okay, this is an iconic shot though. The slow motion, the paper falling.
Holly and John are reunited, but more importantly, John and Powell meet in person for the first time. Damn, I know this marriage was on the rocks, but how do you have more chemistry with this random dude that you just met than with your own wife?
They're soulmates.
Feels like maybe there's something to look into there. But surprise, this blonde asshole is still alive and freely walking around with a machine gun. Powell saves McLean and Holly and gets over his fear of shooting people. Character development. Ah, so sweet. He got over his fear of offing people. Wow. It's a jolly Christmas after all, and Argyle takes John and Holly home.
Argyle needs a fat tip after this.
Okay, so closing arguments.
This is the most American movie. The most American movie that you'll ever find.
Did I do a good job describing this plot? No. I don't think so because, well, I don't think that the plot was actually like trying to say that much other than like money good but bad in the hands of those we don't want to have the money, and macho men will save the day. But is it a Christmas movie? Since the main themes in Christmas movies are usually togetherness and family values, then I guess we do have that. Ultimately, McLean, estranged from his family, has to go through obstacles in order to reunite with them and learn family values. Much like the ultimate Christmas classic, It's a Wonderful Life.
If Die Hard were set at another time of year, the story could still work. You could still have this story. But what Christmas does, it enhances all these emotions and rituals that we recognize as linked to the season and intensifies them. Christmas does that to the highs and the lows.
And boy, does this movie intensify everything. What really strikes me when examining this movie is the use of cinematography and color to mimic what we as viewers have been conditioned to imagine when thinking of Christmas. Smoky chimneys and fairy lights are replaced with smoke and sparks caused by damage to the building. Light from the moon and stars from the dark winter night are replaced with LA streetlights and police lights. The falling of white paper documents providing a resemblance of snow forever missing in a Californian climate. A pop of red in most shots in this otherwise gray and sterile corporate world. Examining the narrative shows us that Christmas certainly isn't the main character in this movie, and yet it is so subtly ever present thanks to the cinematography.
Die Hard is always fun because it's so like action packed and like it really does take your attention really well, but it's so American. But okay, happy holidays, everyone. Hope you don't have to be in contact with this many explosives in this holiday season.
Hey you, thanks for watching this whole video. If you like what I do, hit the subscribe button just over there and let me know in the comments what movie I should watch next. YouTube thinks you might enjoy this video next, or I also worked on this one, so check out either one. I hope you have fun watching your next movie. Bye! Do you have something to say? I'm not just talking to my crotch, my dog is down there.